Hey, what's up, my friends? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor, and I help people navigate through their spiritual awakening process. And pardon me, everybody, for those of you who've been following me, they know that I'm visiting family. I'm in from California, visiting Michigan, seeing family, and it has just been so insanely busy trying to meet up with everybody. And as much as I tried, I was not able to carve out time to shoot a few videos, so I'm gonna do this one on the fly and then shoot some tomorrow. Anyway, so today I wanted to talk about a few different things you can do to deal with the fear that you feel when you follow your dreams, when you follow your heart, when you follow your intuition into directions that are oftentimes insanely inconvenient, against the grain, disruptive, chaotic. I had a Skype session with someone not too long ago, like today, and I was just so inspired by her story, but hers is a pretty classic example of what I'm talking about. So she's definitely going through an awakening. She's aware of that. And she is an Orthodox Jew. She's already divorced, which is hugely frowned upon in her family circle. And now she happened to meet her soulmate, which is obviously, that's a good thing, but it happens to be an Orthodox Muslim. And for anyone who's a little bit aware, that's an incredibly complicated and challenging situation to be in. And she's got this love, but it's going to be explosively disruptive to both families in very major ways that will just be seen as just completely shocking to them. But she plans to, she wants to have a family with him, and they are madly in love, and it's very evident to me based on how she spoke of him. And that's oftentimes the predicaments that the universe puts us in. It makes us very aware, undeniably aware of what we really want, what our heart wants. It's this, but why? Why does it have to be this? Why can't it be more convenient to not have that want, that primordial want? Oh, how disruptive it is. I know this very well. I'll use my story as an example. So anyway, today I'm going to talk about a few different things that you can do to deal with the fear and anxiety and just all the nuttiness that goes on inside of you when you follow your want, which you're all going to do. And that's what she's going to do. She knew it. You can't really help it because that want grows in intensity. You're just going to want it more and more and more and more. And wherever you are that's not in alignment with that want is going to become seen more and more and more and more as just miserable to stick around in. You won't be able to do it forever. You probably already know that. So inevitably, you go. You follow the want. You tell the parents. You close down your gym like I did. Follow your wild dream of being an ascension guy on YouTube. But then you do that and you're like, okay, wow, I'm brave. I'm doing it. Okay, we're doing it. Yes. Oh shit. Then when night falls and you're lying in bed, you're staring at the ceiling, freaking out. But all the stuff that comes along with following your heart, that feeling that is so palpable and real and oh my goodness, how could I have ever gotten myself into this situation where I would feel this way so regularly? I'm going to talk about how you can deal with that. I'm not going to talk about how you can not feel it. Good luck with that. If you figure that out, please let me know. I'm anxious to know. No, it's not. You don't just you don't skip over that. But there are some things I learned that you can do that will, I would say, greatly help you with not being so consumed by it. Number one is to snap yourself out of negative thinking sooner. What happened with me, one of my big things is that I created a pretty established life for myself. I owned a gym that was doing well. I had employees. I had a lot of 50, 60 personal training clients, which is kind of a lot for a personal training client. And everything was going very well. And I just had the heart. My heart really wanted to be in San Diego. Why? I don't know. I used to, I would watch this like video of San Diego in 4K definition on YouTube, and I would cry. I would like not cry, but I would tear up. I would have that feeling like you belong there. That's where my heart wanted to go. But geez, what a mess. And the next thing my guidance suggested was that, well, this gym, it's time for the gym to go. And I eventually, I'm not going to get too deeply, I go on for a while, but I eventually stopped. I shut down my gym simply because my intuition it told me to. It said this is the next step. You're not going to move forward until you do it. You're going to suffer the longer you avoid doing this. So I said, okay, fine. After a lot of kicking and screaming, I finally did it. But then, oh my God, for months as I made the transition to what I'm doing now, it all worked out beautifully, amazingly. Just, oh my God, I can't even express how happy I am that I did that. I was so held down. But as I went through that, it was crazy. I would be kept awake by this ball of stress and anxiety and uncertainty and freaking panic, terror, fear. It was so real. I was so sensitive to it, which I could not shake it. And if I allowed that fear energy to convert into thoughts and projections and worst case scenarios and all the different possible things that could go wrong, it would spiral so fast. There were several times that during that period, I literally spiraled my way into such a dark place, such a deep, real depression to where I could not even get off the couch. I felt just like, I felt suicidal, but I have kids and that wasn't really an option, but I felt like, my goodness, if I did not have a family, I would not be here. I would not be able to survive feeling these feelings anymore. And just the fear, and I would get myself so worked up. And even though the situation was always what it was, me getting myself worked up became a real issue. Because no matter how much progress I was making or how hopeful I was feeling, if I allowed those paranoid thoughts to sink their claws in, then it had a very stifling effect on my ability to, again, even get off the freaking couch. So I learned that I just cannot afford to do this. I have shit to do. I have kids who want their daddy around, and my wife. I have a lot of dogs, people, beings in my life that need me to be somewhat sound-minded, and I just had to just say no. Just stop feeding into it. Just find a way to cut yourself off, because we're living in a time where everything tends to spiral quickly, and that can very well happen with your negative thinking. It does you absolutely no good at all. It just disconnects you, and your ability to stay connected is essential during this phase, and it will predictably disconnect you. So just snap yourself out of it one way or another. Number 2 is don't be idle. Keep doing whatever you can to move you forward. You've already jumped in the river, so you might as well start trying to stupid analogy. I can't think of anything that'll fit. But you've already taken the plunge, so go with it. There's no turning back now for a lot of you who are feeling these insane feelings. Just, you got to go with it. I kept stopping and pausing and ruminating. But the only time I felt good, even though on a mental level, nothing really changed the way I could frame it, I would always feel really at peace and really good when I was doing something in alignment with my want, which at the time was California. So one of the things me and my wife did, we started going through and cleaning out the house, like cleaning out old drawers, going through stuff. And this is before we even knew we were going to move, but we knew that something's pulling us to California. And if we're going to get there, then this all has to get done. So we would just do stuff that we knew would at some point need to get done. But when we would do that, clean out the drawers, the miscellaneous junk drawers, we had like 4 of them. We'd go through that, and it felt awesome. We felt high. It was like, yes, I felt so connected, and it's so beautiful of a feeling. But if I just stopped and sort of had like one foot going this way and one foot going that way, that's all where all the inner conflict and the negative thinking and the spiraling and the craziness would come from. But as long as I just kept on my path, real simple, real basic, then life would, I would feel content, even though this, again, the situation was still on paper insane, at least to me. I would not feel stressed when I was acting in accordance with those goals and dreams. Number 3 is to choose hope. So I was speaking with this girl, and I was like, okay, we're almost done. Is there anything you want to talk about? Or, we're wrapping it up here. She said, I just want some hope. She felt so hopeless. She's about to embark on this crazy ass challenge of hers, and she just wants to know it's going to work out, wants to know it's going to lead somewhere. She so badly wants this situation to unfold in a certain way, in alignment with her heart's passions. And I said, you have hope, don't you? You right? You have hope already. You don't need me to give you hope. She said yes. She knew. That's very true. At any time, if I chose, which sometimes I would punish myself, I don't know why, but I would, but there, almost at any time, any point, in any moment, you can choose hope. You can choose to rest in your knowing that everything is going to be fine. That's always there. I don't care what's going on. I know you could work yourself up out of it to where you're not really focused on that. But now, if you don't have hope, focus on it now. Everybody in this journey has the potential to feel hopeful. But it's a choice of your focus. And it's not easy because we're very conditioned to go off on all these mental, psychological tangents that keep us miserable and insane. But the hope is always just there. Kind of like a fan, like a ceiling fan that you could easily forget about the ceiling fan and focus on the radio that's blasting, that paranoid, delusional, negative radio that we insist on listening to. But all the while, that fan's there. And you start focusing on the fan, that radio dial gets turned down a little bit. You have faith. You all have the faith. But we don't always focus on it. So hopefully this video will help to remind you that no matter what's going on, no matter how bad things seem, you always have that knowing that you're in the right place. You're doing the right thing. All is well. You're going to be fine. And you also know that it's going to work out in such a freaking staggeringly badass, amazing way that it will make this turmoil plenty worth it. Peace.